Okay. Because I know that you've all been waiting patiently to see me do something really dumb, we're going to go ahead and do something really dumb. Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure, where today I have been busy here at the zombies, down with the skeletons, and up with the creepers, trying to, well, first off, my goal was simple. I just wanted to restore all of my gear to good health, because it had all taken a bit of a thrashing over the last several episodes, and I have not dedicated the time necessary to restoring a lot of it. And the last piece is the fire helm, which I just forgot about. The Hellfire helm is only not repaired because I completely forgot about it until this exact moment, and now I'm making all kinds of a mess in the inventory. But I've been doing this while editing videos and working on other little projects, and we've got quite the supply of rotten flesh to be bringing back up with us. And at some point we just have to stop. They're going to keep spawning, and I'm going to feel bad for leaving them, but at some point you just have to stop. Now, at the end of this hallway, you'll see something else I've been working on, which is I've been putting down the cave vines all throughout the cave system, because I like them better as a lighting source than torches, and I think that they make the caves look a little bit nicer. They're a little bit more homey now than just having torches everywhere, and yeah, we're going down right now. I figured I'd run by the skeletons. I didn't spend nearly as much time down here with the skeletons collecting bones, and the only reason I was doing that, I started off collecting bones because I figured I needed more bone meal to grow more of the vines, and I mean, that was correct, of course, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time down here, as you can tell. But I did want to show off the caves, and if we go downstairs further, there's even more vines. In fact, the hallway at the very end where I'm doing a horrible job already of explaining what I'm talking about. Let's just go down there and I'll show you. You might remember when we were digging out this hallway over here in a previous installment, way back in March, we dug that way until we ran out of torches, and then we used lanterns. Well, I fetched the lanterns and replaced it with, there's a bunch of vines down there, but the eventual goal is to figure out a way to do this where maybe every few blocks there's just a bit notched out of the side with a full vine grown, and we just kind of do that all the way along, and the bubbles sometimes surprise me and shock and scare me. But that's not really what we're doing today. That doesn't really have anything to do with it. I did want to collect a bunch of rotten flesh, and then also, oh, you know what? I just forgot that I also did collect, like I said, I spent some time with the creepers, quite a bit of time with the creepers. We've almost filled up our second chest. We have to keep dipping in there to make more rockets, and eventually TNT to blow up the nether, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay right now in terms of materials. I'm going to take all the rotten flesh outside and sell as much of it as we can, and then we're going to talk about today's goal, because I realized while I was down there that we're now level 67, which might seem cool, but it's actually a little bit of a waste. It's a waste to get such a high level when it takes so much longer to achieve those high levels. You know what I mean? Like, it takes an awful... the villager apparently says he knows what I mean, because he just went, which would suggest to me that he knows exactly what I'm on about. But what I mean is that it's so much quicker and easier to get the lower levels, and you really don't need 67 levels for something at any time anyway. So that reminded me that I had originally planned at one point to have the massive library set. Look at this guy. We gotta go check in on him now. There's a bunch of stuff distracting me. I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Now, wait a minute. Now, where did this cow go? How come sometimes creatures just break the leads and wander off? That cow's been here for literal months. Did it get struck by lightning and die instead of, like, turning into a mushroom, which is what I wanted? I would accept that as an answer as to what happened, but I don't have any proof or evidence. I don't see the cow, though, is the only issue. That's unfortunate, because we lost our leads. That's upsetting. What have you got? Slime balls. I got some of those. I found some slimes in the caves earlier. We're gonna go ahead and kill these guys, just get back the leads. It's a real shame that this has to happen, but it does have to happen. Not really anything else. Oh, moss block, actually. I've discovered something cool you can do with moss blocks. As always, I get most of my information from viewers and random YouTube shorts that pop up. So there's some cool things you can do with moss blocks. We really only need one, because you can bone mill them, I believe. But I don't even know if that's going to be relevant to today's episode, but in the future, when I whip out moss blocks, you'll know where they came from. we're going to be doing something with those, trust me. So, what was I in the middle of saying just now? Oh, right, we talked about setting up full enchantment stations near all of our spawners, and we just kind of never did that. We sort of let that run past us, and we kind of forgot about it. So, I thought today we would start addressing that problem, because I said at the start of the month that we would focus this month in on trying to do some basic tasks around the house, and complete some projects that were left unfinished, or in a state of near unusability, owing to the fact that we just weren't giving them enough attention. So I figured, you know what, now's as good a time as any to do that. And one of those projects, hold on, let me drop off these potatoes. They are raw, right? Yeah, they become baked potatoes. Let's go ahead and light that up, get that cooking. And then that way, well, we'll have to go to the nether. I'll just keep that bucket with me. I mean, we're not going to the nether today. What we are going to do today is we are going to collect a lot of bookshelves, or bookcases even, so that we can set up a whole lot of enchantment stations all around the world. So we'll drop those off in there, and then we're going to need to figure out what happened, and I think it's probably with us. I probably keep it in tools and equipment. We have a Silk Touch axe somewhere. I don't know where. We also have our hoe, which we should keep with us because it's useful for collecting some things, but it's not been upgraded and it has no enchantments, so we probably need to do that. That's our netherite shovel versus our other netherite shovel. We need to name these things, I think, is what we need to do. I've also thought about changing the axe to get rid of Bane of Anthropods and instead putting a sweeping edge and also, what do you have on it? Sharpness? Sharpness 5 and sweeping edge. And then that way, instead of carrying around 2 swords like we've been doing, this can be good as a sort of a general purpose weapon. And with sweeping edge, it'll still do area of effect damage, I'm pretty sure. And then we can still have this. Now, obviously, you know, this has looting. This can never have looting. But that's okay. We could just weaken things with Feller, which can, I mean, that name still works if we're felling beasts with it. And then we can switch to the Dead Man's Bane to get the looting. That's sort of the final hearts. But that's just an idea that I had that we might do. Probably not today, but all of these things are enchanting related, right? We got to enchant this, got to enchant that, got to go find where the proper axe is located. The only other place it could possibly be, if it's not in one of the many tool chests downstairs. That's disappointing. Was it gold? And did we already break it? Is that possible that we made a Silk Touch axe and we already broke it in some previous installment that I'm just not remembering properly? Unless it's inside of one of these, which, I mean, look at the mess of things in here. We tried to organize these at one point, and it just didn't go over well. We ended up just kind of going back to putting things in random places. Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, and Mending. Do we want a golden axe for that, though? It's kind of funny. I'll give you that. It is kind of funny. But shouldn't we just go ahead and make a diamond one? I think we should just go ahead and make a diamond one. And then we're going to go back to the place where you go through the portal to the end place where you fight beasts. What am I? The stronghold, the end stronghold. We're going to go back over there, and that is where we are going to collect all of the bookcases, as opposed to just making them ourselves or buying them. So what have I got lying around here? I should have some of what we need already. We don't want looting. That's not going to help us this time. We should put fortune at some point on our other axe, but let's see. Speaking of, there's smite. Smite 4. We get it up to Smite 5, but no, not right. I mean, we'd have to strip this axe, is the only problem. Ooh. Which raises the question of, should we strip it and start over? Or should we just go ahead and put Smite on it, and then have this be our new general purpose axe that we put Unbreaking, Mending, and Efficiency 5 on? It would certainly save quite a few enchantments if we have to put a bunch of enchantments on here anyway. As opposed to stripping this and starting over, then we'd have to fully enchant 2 different axes. I mean, I gotta find a Silk Touch as well. I don't have one on me from the looks of things. What are the odds we would just get a Silk Touch? Not great. We have one guy left in the village. Oh, goodness, it's a dark and stormy night. Perfect for this operation. I need more books. Immediately. Post-haste. Don't mind me, I'm just collecting some books. What does this guy that's over here in the estates have? He has something that we need to bring him back over here. I can't remember what it was. Might have just been fortune or something. You! Wake up for a moment if you wouldn't mind. Looting 3. We really held on to you for looting 3. I don't even really need it. Not even a good deal at that price. I guess we're gonna have to go try to grind out a Silk Touch. I thought we had one. I mean, technically we do have an axe with Silk Touch. It's not required that I dedicate an episode to getting an additional Silk Touch when we already have an axe with Silk Touch. But methinks that's what's happening this episode. Oh, this has Silk Touch and Blast Protection. Well, I mean... there you go. So we are going to be turning Feller into a Silk Protection... you know what I'm trying to say. So we can't call it Silky, because we already named this, like, Lucky and Silky. So I'm thinking we call this one, like, a sort of derivative, or not really a derivative, but a synonym of Silky. Velvety. Right? Come on. That's so dumb that I love it. So there's our new Silk Touch axe. Now we just gotta build this one up as a new weapon. By the way, I'm looking over at my list of enchantments that are available for the axe, and I don't see Sweeping Edge. So I guess you can't put Sweeping Edge on an axe. In fact, I'll Google it real fast. Can you put Sweeping Edge on an axe? Huh? Well, according to a Google search, you can. As of December 22nd, 2024, you can put Sweeping Edge can be obtained. Hit for Sweeping Edge. Apparently, yeah. Oh, that's part of combat tests, though. So probably not actually? I don't know, I'm getting mixed results here. We'll have to get a Sweeping Edge and find out. Wasn't that what was available to us if we immediately did this? Yeah, Sweeping Edge 1, which is useless and not really what we want. What if I just put the axe in there? What are you going to give me? I mean, we got to put Unbreaking 3 on it anyway. Should we just go ahead and do that, even though that's one of the easiest and cheapest books to get? Probably not. We'll just get that and then disenchant it here in a second if we don't get what we want. Pretty typical stuff here we're doing. Efficiency 5. Efficiency 5. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to be doing an experiment. That's right. I'm supposed to just stick this in there and see if Sweeping Edge can be applied. Sweeping Edge can't be put on an axe. That's a disappointment. We don't really want Sweeping Edge 1 anyway. Putting Sweeping Edge on my sword wouldn't be bad. That's okay. We can still do my plan of putting all the cool enchantments on the axe to make it a decent weapon. We gotta get Sharpness 5, though. First things first. The Sharpness 2? We could combine 2 sharp... I'd rather try to get it for a higher one, though. Wait a minute. We didn't just have that lying around, did we? I didn't even think to check for Sharpness earlier. Not in there. Oh! 3, 3... 4! I'm so glad I wasted all of my levels back there. Oh, we got some back. I've been going through the grindstone here. I've wasted so many levels to get to the point where we can make this Sharpness 4, and then that Sharpness 5, and then that prior work penalty is going to be what really gets us here in a second, because that's going to... yeah. That's supposed to cost 5 levels, now it costs 8. Should we go ahead and name it while we're at it? So we got Silky and Lucky. This is going to be Velvety and Fortunate. Now we gotta put together Efficiency 5 with Unbreaking 3, and that's gonna cost 4 levels. And then combining that with this is gonna cost 18, which is not what it says it should cost. It says it should cost 10. I think prior work penalty is gonna bite us on this one, folks. We go put Mending and, oh, I've messed up. I've messed up already. Sharpness was not supposed to go on. Sharpness was supposed to be paired with Mending. Okay, that's fine. We could put Mending with... what's missing? I think Mending stands alone right now. Fortune. We need Fortune. Fortune 3. That's 2 levels. And then we have to combine all of these together without going into prior work penalty territory. This is not... so the goal of today was to actually not do this. The goal of today was to actually go do a different thing. The goal of today... why am I going up to the creepers? I think I've now determined pretty definitively that the fastest is the skeletons. In my opinion, maybe. I think I might have cooked it, though. I think I just might have cooked it by not paying enough attention and doing things out of order. I don't know how negative the consequences of our actions are going to be, but I think we're going to be feeling them. We'll go ahead and do this real quick, see if we can get all these activated. I gotta figure out a way to activate that one right there. Hey, fellas. I wonder if we could get up underneath it without having to actually go out there. Boy, that hurt. There we go. That's all you gotta do. Just hop out there. It's very inconvenient, though, and it puts you at a great risk. But I'm pretty sure it would activate from underneath if we just dug a tunnel. So there's an idea for the future. Dig tunnel. Okay, that's all of them. Now we'll just go grind. I said I was going to do skeletons, but we don't even have any enchantment things set up down there where the skeletons are. So I think we'll just stick to the zombies right here. This room, eventually, I want lit with nothing but glow lichen, like along every surface of every wall. and maybe even suspended from the ceiling in odd patterns. That's a plan for the future there. You know, I can't really get back to that chest anymore. But I know how to fix this, because what we can do is we can use the shears, and I don't think that means we'll collect that, but we can right-click. Hold on, right-click again. There we go. And now that will never grow again. Now, unfortunately, we do want to bury in there, so I don't have any bones. There's bones over there. I'd have to go get them, though. I can't just, like, plop that down. No. That's unfortunate. Should probably keep bones inside of the ender chest. That would be convenient. I'm not running back over there to get bones. It's not... I have to go all the way down that ladder. It's a drawn-out, arduous process. I'll just remember to relight it in the future. So the numbers are all askew, but we have fortunate here. Should just called it fortune. Why do we call it fortunate? We gotta apply that, and that's gonna be 18. And then we gotta apply that, and that's gonna be 16. And I'm pretty sure this is not going to work. I think I cooked it by adding the overly ripened sharpened on there, but that's okay. If it doesn't work, we'll start over, and it's a lesson learned for me. Gillian linked a mod that disables the work penalty, like the too expensive work penalty, which is cool. We're not going to use it. We're trying to play by the game's rules, you know. That's why we've been extremely conservative in our choice of mods, right? Like, hey, this mod opens 2 doors at once. That's fine. That's not game-breaking. That's just a feature that should be in the game. Do I think that too expensive enchantments is stupid and should be removed? Yes. But that's how they've decided to balance the game, and I'm not going to wrestle with Mojang on that right now. Okay, there's 18 levels. If you're wondering why I'm doing this in this order instead of doing the cheaper one first, I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, thank heavens. Okay, it's only going to be 24, and that's everything we want, unfortunate. It's going to have sharpness 5, efficiency 5, fortune 3, unbreaking 3, and mending 3. That's everything we want on there. Thank goodness. Now, 24's a bit of a wait, but we can manage.
Time to start editing a video, I guess,
Alright, well, I got a little invested in editing, so we're actually a level further along than we needed. But here we go. Fortunate one. Oh, we should just call it the Fortunate One. It ain't me. It ain't me. It is a Fortunate One, though. That's the thing. At the end of the day, it has fortune on it, and I guess it needs to be kept next to the sword moving forward, if it's going to be one of our 2 weapons. Or we can keep it in the 4th slot, because on my mouse it's 1. Oh no, I thought they were on top of one another. No, it's like catty-cornered. Well, I mean, I can train my muscles. I mean, I say that. I've never trained them to do any of this properly. So, maybe not. And I've had this mouse for a while now. You know what? This does need to be netherite, though. It's hideous without being netherite. Do we have any netherite? Where do I even keep netherite? I don't think we have any netherite. Am I going to go on a grand expedition for netherite today? I think we used it all last time. We've got 2 netherite scrap. That's not enough to be doing anything with. I think we had 2 bars. I think we used them to copy the netherite upgrade. No, that's not good. No, it's just netherite and the netherite upgrade. Or, sorry, netherrack and the netherite upgrade. Where would I be keeping... If I had netherite, where would I have put it? I feel like I just don't have any. And I'm not about to go on a grand expedition to try to track down 2 gosh darn pieces. That would be ridiculous. Then again, they call me Mr. Ridiculous on occasion. It's not the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, is it? 12 is... I thought I was gonna get more than that. That's more like it. Where did I leave... Where did I leave the red one? It's got my flint and steel in it. Not this one, the enchanted... Where's the red one? What did I do with it? Where's the red one? Good gosh. Can't just leave this thing lying around like this. That causes all kinds of issues. How inconvenient.
Oh, welcome back to the Nether. Welcome back to hell here, everyone. This is where we died before, you might remember. Well, what have we here? That was a mistake and a half, wasn't it?
Guess that just stays like that now. Probably need some building materials. Probably need to bring those with me here. Soul sand. How odd. How peculiar. This is a lot safer. It might not do as big an explosion. That's a bigger explosion than I was expecting, to be fair. The explosion might not be as big, but we don't also have to be nearly as close to it. Can I hold a sea pickle in my offhand? Yes, but it only provides the smallest amount of light. It provided no light. That was my imagination. Yeah, we can retreat to a safe distance with these. I'm not gonna say that the likelihood that we're gonna die has dropped to 0, because that's just setting myself up for trouble. It has dropped precipitously, though. Seems to be much less fire doing it this way as well. Which we do need some fire, just as a light source more than anything else. Doing pretty close to each other, I don't see why not. Oh! How about that? Aww. Hey! The system works! Eventually.
Come here, you. Get down here.
We really do need an additional use for netherrack. The fact that we don't have one. Like, can you do anything with that in here? Mojang, fix the game. Let's do a chain. See what happens. This ought to be entertaining. It wasn't that entertaining. Take it back.
Ah!
How extensive is that lava back there?
Well, let's find out.
Huh. I think it's literally just that piece. And then a couple of pieces over here.
Let's do something silly. That's 4 pieces of TNT right there.
That was cool, but it didn't net us any, like, positive gains. We found nothing. Hey, there it is. There's a couple of them here, but there's also lava right there, which is concerning. Please don't be lava up there. Goodness. So that was it. There's just 2 of them. What an absolute letdown. We'll do, like, one more chamber, and we'll just see whether or not there's anything in there, and when there isn't, we'll leave. Should not have started running back so quickly. Could have ended worse, could have ran closer. Oh! How about this? Another one of my little passages. Just keep coming across those. Thing is, there could be something to either side here, and we're not gonna know unless we find out. There was nothing to either side, I can say for sure with absolute confidence. You know what? I said I was going to do the one more and we're done, but I think I just realized something. I think we're doing this wrong. Let me show you the way I think we're supposed to do this. I think what we should do is we should dig as far as we can in one direction until basically we hit a roadblock, like a lava lake or something. Our inventory is now full of this stuff, unfortunately. But there we go. There's our roadblock. And yeah, go ahead, destroy it all. See if I care. I've got too much of it as is. Now, we just face in a direction. Dig a few blocks in, place a TNT, go another couple blocks down. Do the same thing. They don't have to be, like, right next to each other either. They can be, like, several blocks apart. Ought to be fine. I think we've already used too much TNT, if I'm honest. But that's okay. And then we just light it. And then we get the heck out of Dodge. And then we just watch as this happens. Okay, well, that's a letdown, because that was definitely supposed to get, like, to this one. So maybe they do need to be closer together. Okay, they definitely do need to be closer together. What if we did this? Nope, missed that one. Oh, I missed the last 2. Okay, that's okay. That one ignited anyway. Looky there! We definitely have one there. I'm not sure exactly, like, what the closest is or that you need them to be. Or how far apart they can be. That seems more efficient in terms of time investment. And then you can do the same thing on the other side. Now, we only got 1 out of all that, but still. It's one we wouldn't have had otherwise. Oh! I forgot that's the reason we stopped digging right there. Okay. Because I know that you've all been waiting patiently to see me do something really dumb. We're gonna go ahead and do something really dumb. Let's collect these, just so we can get the XP. Because I don't think I have room for them in my inventory.
Get rid of a stack of that. We don't need that.
I feel like the music playing right now is definitely sort of setting the atmosphere for what's happening. And appropriately so. Let's go. Let's not linger. Let's not linger. I see one. I only see the one, though, and it's about to be swallowed in lava.
What a wonderful adventure we've been on here today.
I see you. I'm gonna come get you in just a second. That was a lot of TNT to waste. To get one of them. That was an awful lot of TNT to waste. So that was an example of how not to do this, right? Hopefully you all learned something. Okay. There's the bedrock, by the way. We made it all the way down. I wish there was cool tunnels like this in the nether. It's a shame that there's not. Hello, Pigoo. I don't want to go back with these 2 pieces, so we're going to plop one down, like, right there. And then we'll plop one down kind of on this side as well. Yeah, nothing gained, but at least we're not carrying them back with us. Oh, there's a passageway back here. Oops. Oh, you know what? We brought that bucket with us. We need to remember to grab some lava from somewhere. There we go. All of that effort, just so we could upgrade an axe. That was not even the goal of today's episode. If you're watching at home, I'd love to know how it feels to be a Howdy Folks fan and have to deal with this sort of thing. By the way, I had an idea for, like, once we automate shulker box construction, instead of having hundreds of chests, we can have chests full of shulker boxes, which are themselves full of the different items. Just an idea. So we've got 8 of those now, and we can combine those with 8 gold to get the netherite ingots. We need plenty of diamonds for this next part of the operation, because we need to create not 1 but 2 copies of the nether smithing, or the netherite smithing template. Reason being, we actually have 2 things we need to upgrade today. Those 2 things being, of course, our new fortunate axe and the diamond hoe. The diamond hoe with no enchantments on it yet. Yes, it is in fact getting upgraded right now as we speak. Fortunate and a netherite hoe. Man, serious dedication. I've got to know, what is that one? What is serious dedication? There it is. Use a netherite ingot to upgrade a hoe, and then reevaluate your life choices. That's funny. I have no regrets. At this point, we've got netherite everything else. It just made sense. And we'll throw a bunch of enchants on there in the future. But that does it for today's episode. Tomorrow, we will actually go and complete our goal, which was to use the axe to collect a bunch of bookshelves and then build enchantment stations underground. Until then, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye!